Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law that I am pregnant at her engagement party? I know this seems bad, but hear me out please. I'm 24 female, 4 months pregnant. My husband, 29 male, and I are very excited and we can't wait to be parents. We decided not tell people till the week after the party. My in-laws own a winery and it's beautiful. It's where my let's call her Taylor, got engaged at and the engagement party was. I'm known for loving wine. I'm not an alcoholic. But I like a glass of wine while out, but with a glass of water for the rest of the outing. So at the engagement party, I was drinking water and talking to my in-laws when Taylor offered me a glass of wine. I told her that I don't feel like drinking. She kept offering me and I kept refusing. I made up so many excuses till she asked if I was pregnant as a joke. I nervously smiled and tried to walk away. She screamed that I ruined her engagement party for telling her that I'm pregnant. Now my husband and I are not invited to her wedding. But am I the asshole? Not the asshole. But we seriously need to normalize women being able to just not drink. I'm in the getting children age, and always have to drink the prove I'm not pregnant drink. I'm just a little overweight and don't like drinking. Please let me be. Not the asshole. Nothing is worse than a bride that thinks the whole world should stop for her and her wedding. Offering you a glass of wine is fine and polite, but if someone refuses, why keep offering and even make the pregnancy joke? Sounds like she was intentionally wanting drama. NTA. It's not like you said it. I can't tell you how many times I've seen posted where the op made it this massive showy way. Like bringing their own cake, standing on chairs. You just rejected a drink, she shouldn't have kept pushing. She blew it out of proportion, you kept it discreet. Not the asshole. People who pressure other people to drink alcohol are as though. Am I the asshole for blowing up on my fiance after what he did to my daughter's table favors? I forgot I even had this account, and my daughter used it just to be on a braces support hunt, so this will be my throwaway account. English is also not my first language, but I do try. My fiance, M37, and I, F35, are getting married in September, and everything has been going perfect until now. My daughter, F16, and yes, I know I had her young, has recently found an obsession in paper origami. She started with making dollar hearts and moved on to making full-on beautiful lotus flowers and paper butterflies, and asked if she could help with the table decorations by putting paper butterflies on them with our wedding colors. I love my daughter, and want to support her hobbies any way I can, so I said she can and even bought her the paper she needed with the colors. The issues lies what happened today, and even typing this still has me feel a little anger. My fiancé, with the addition of my daughter, and I went to check the venue and stopped at a family friend's house who's making our table decorations. My daughter expressed how she couldn't wait to put her paper butterflies on the tables for the guests to enjoy. Our friend thought it was such an adorable idea, but I could tell my fiancé made a face about it. When we came back home, he expressed his concerns about what my daughter said, and said that it seemed childish, and that he wouldn't have it as his wedding. I reminded him that it's our wedding, and that I want to exclude my daughter's wishes after I already bought her the materials. We argue for a bit more, but I had to go to my sister's to help her move. But, when I came home today, my daughter came crying to me, telling me she's sorry that she's ruining my wedding with her ideas and said she'll pay me back for the paper. I asked her what she meant and she said that my fiancé told her that I was only including her idea and wasn't going to really go with it. I was enraged, and when he came back home I blown up on him and called him a jerk and asshole for what he told my daughter. He yelled back saying that we should have found a compromise, and just making this idea without consulting him first was terrible. I do agree I should have consulted this first, but he didn't express any discomfort with the idea and going behind my back to tell my daughter lies, isn't a way to get back to me that he felt away. I feel conflicted, and not sure what to do. Am I the asshole? Update. Wow. I was shocked this would get the attention of so many, but I'm thankful for all the comments. I'm at work, but I will give a clear update tonight of everything that happened and is going to happen. Thank you again for all the comments, but for the one person who wished me death for wanting to talk to my fiancé about what happened, I'm sorry I angered you that much. Not the asshole. Is this really the kind of man you want to be marrying? Someone who would treat your daughter so disrespectfully. NTA. But will be if marry this man. He is bullying your daughter. Honestly? I'd give him his ring back, ask him to pack his stuff and to leave that night. Not the asshole for blowing up at him, but YTA if you decide to stay with him. Not the asshole. I would seriously reconsider your marriage to this guy. He deliberately lied to your daughter and blew off her hobby as childish. Imagine what other things will happen in the future, as he seems to be not supportive to her. Be careful in your decision since it will also affect your daughter. Am I the asshole for moving out of home the day I received my pay? I, 20 have been living with my mother, 50 and 3 siblings, M13, F9 and F15, for the last 2 years and working full-time. My mother demanded that I deposit all the money into her account on the day I receive my pay. While I realize this seems extreme, my mother would often tell me that I am the man of the household and am responsible for supporting her and my siblings. When I asked to keep some of the money for myself as savings, she would start screaming and/or cry and shaming me. One time when I suggested I wanted to move out, she flipped and started packing all my stuff and told me to leave right then and there. When I explained that I couldn't because I have no money to my name because I paid it all to her, she continued to tell me to go now if I wanted to leave. Obviously I relented. I discussed my issue with a coworker, and he suggested I move out the day I got paid. So I kept the peace at home while looking for a place I could rent with roommates, and on my payday went to work with my clothes and essentials and then went to my new place. I then sent a message to my mother telling her I wouldn't be coming home. Now she has blown up my phone with a bunch of texts, stating that I am abandoning her and my siblings and that I won't lived up to my responsibilities. I think this is absurd. But then she says I could have at least given her a heads up that I was leaving a few weeks in advance, as she relied on my money to pay for the rent, bills and food. She is now asking for my part of the rent from my pay for the past 2 weeks, saying it is only fair because I didn't give her any advance notice. But I didn't give her any advance notice because I feared a big blow up. I still feel guilty though. Have I thrown her and my siblings under the bus? Not the asshole. You didn't tell her because the last time you did, she tried to kick you out. So block her and move on. By the way, she is legally responsible for providing for herself and her minor children. What she told you is lies, and it will take some time for you to unpack all of them. She'll say anything to manipulate you, so please be aware of that and don't take what she says as truthful. Am I the asshole for telling my dad it's his fault I raised my brother? My 20 female mom died 7 years ago when my little brother 10 male was 3 years old. It really devastated all of us, and of course I miss her more than anything. If she was still here, things would be so much better than they currently are. Her death really destroyed my dad. He just became really withdrawn and pretty much only focused on going to work and coming home. He fell back on taking care of so I started doing it instead. I would miss out on school dances, social events, award ceremonies, etc. to take care of my brother. I stopped even trying to go out, because when I did, my dad would always ask me to cancel plans to look after anyway. I was supposed to go out of state for college, but because I knew my brother would end up having to fend for himself, I picked local school instead. I still live at home and even work from there so that I can help out too. I've tried not to be upset about it too much, because my father lost his wife and I know that he's hurting, but I just wish I could do something other than be my brother's parent. School started up again for my brother recently, and while I was making dinner he took a flyer out of his backpack and gave it to me. It was a notice about a meet the teacher night. He was telling me all about the other details of it when our dad walked in the kitchen and asked what was going on. My little brother kind of dismissed him and told him it was just between the two of us, but maybe he'd talk to him about it later. The topic was switched after that and my brother didn't bring it up again before he went to bed, so I didn't really think anything else of it. We did the whole teacher night thing, which I informed my dad of via text, and when we got back home my dad sent my brother upstairs because he wanted to talk to me. He told me that I need to tell my brother that I am not the one he should be asking about important school stuff because I'm not his mother, and I'm definitely not his parent. He said it was disrespectful of me to even take to the event in the first place, but especially malicious for me to let my brother continue acting as though I am his mom. The whole thing just pissed me off. I told my dad that it's his fault my brother views me that way to begin with because he clearly wasn't up to doing the job after our mom died, and that the only person he should be upset at is himself for making his grieving daughter take up all of the duties that he fell short on after the death of his wife. I told a friend what happened, and she does think I'm right, but she also thinks it was cruel of me to say it like that to my dad because clearly he's still hurting. Now I'm not sure if I was being an asshole. Not the asshole. Your dad needed a wake-up call. Hopefully he realizes his mistakes and rectifies what he can, at least with your brother. Your dad owes you a massive apology and needs to take responsibility for the hurt he caused you. Not the asshole. He's still hurting. So you are, that is still no reason for letting you take all that burden. He may be hurting, but he is an adult and a parent. Is his job to suck all that up for the sake of his children. Not the asshole. Maybe this will be the wake-up call he needs to step up and actually parent his kids. You are a wonderful mom, sister. I hope you have been able to take some time for yourself to be a kid.